Now it's up to the F&I department to pick up the slack because margins are shrinking. So dealers must pay attention to their F&I operations from the sky. They need to stand up in the sky and look down and get granular and really take a look at everything that they're doing from a process standpoint, an accountability standpoint, and most importantly, a coaching and mentoring standpoint.
Welcome to the Matador Buscast. Tune in for everything you need to know to stay in the know regarding the automotive industry. Here's your host, Jason Harris.
Hey, what's going on, Podcast Nation? It is Jason Harris here, and thank you for joining me on another episode of the Matador Buscast. Yes, I said buscast, not podcast. I have done podcasts in planes, trains, automobiles, and yachts, and I've never done one on a bus. We are here in Dallas, Texas, with some amazing guests. We're going to get into some amazing content. We are on Big Tex, the largest party bus in the country, which is so fitting. We're in Texas, right, guys? Like everything's bigger in Texas.
Absolutely.
You know, we're right outside of NADA 2023. Talk about sensory overload. I mean, I feel for the dealers here, but I'm impressed by the dealers here because, you know, they've really come with a plan. Some great questions, super engaged, you know, and we'll definitely jam a little bit about that. But before we kind of get into our topics today, I love kicking off podcasts with little origin stories. Because I'm always fascinated, because I don't think anybody wakes up one day and goes, yeah, I'm going to be in the automotive industry. So here's what we're going to do. I'll let you introduce yourself and how you got started in the business. So, yeah, go ahead.
So my name is Vitaly. The way I got started is actually kind of interesting. The day after I graduated high school, you know, the summer in between high school and college, and my father told me the next day, he goes, you got a job interview at Grand Honda. And goes, dress nice and be ready. So since that day, even going to school and everything, the car business sucks you in.
It does,
It's really hard to escape it. So I spent 20 years on retail, and when I hooked up with Adam, he sucked me out of the retail side and said, you know what? We can grow what you're doing into other dealerships, and we can help develop other stores, not just the ones you're in, but do it nationwide.
That's awesome. And you know what? I always kind of feel like that scene from Godfather, you know, like just when you think I've
tried.
Suck me back.
Right?
I tried to leave a couple times too. Yeah, Adam, you tried to leave a couple times?
I've tried. It's very difficult.
Adam, for yourself, man, how did you get started in this crazy little world we call the automotive industry?
Yeah, so by accident, I was working in a restaurant, and the gentleman that owned the restaurant was in the car business, and he decided to step away from the car business with his dreams of opening up an Italian restaurant with his wife. Well, I went away. I graduated high school. I went away to Panama City Beach, Florida. I went down there with a good buddy of mine to kind of kick it and do what other 18-year-olds do.
Sure, of course.
So I get back in town a week later, and Gordon, my boss, goes, hey, I got good news and bad news. I go, well, what's the bad? He goes, we're closing the restaurant. Okay. I go, what's the good? He goes, you're coming with me to the dealership, or you're going to go sell cars. I was like, sell cars? Heck no. So when I ended up at the dealership, instead of getting into sales, I asked to be in the service department. So I started out as a porter.
Okay.
3-4 months later after that, got my way into sales, then into F&I, and I've never looked back. So that's kind of how it all started.
Got bit by the bug. Both of you guys got bit by the bug, huh?
It was forced upon me, but you know what? Once it gets in your blood, it's there. There's no cake in it.
That's true.
I wouldn't change it for the world.
I know you wouldn't, right?
No.
You know, I think there's a reason for that. You know, like I said, I've done over 1,000 podcasts. All right, I have interviewed some amazing operators and visited some amazing dealerships. But I will say, everybody in the car business has just an element of chaos junkie.
Oh yeah.
Like we almost kind of enjoy putting ourselves through a little bit of pain. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's something DNA based. Anyways, I digress. But I can go scroll sometimes, guys. But
I can relate. Those are nice shoes. Oh my goodness.
Nice shoes. Hey, how are you doing? This is gonna be a fun podcast, I can tell. Well, guys, let's talk about 2023, right? And I'm saying this year is the year of focus. All right, efficiency and optimization. Look, guys, we've come off 3 years of the best, and I mean it legitimately, the best and highest profitable years we've ever had. Now it's kind of time to let's roll up those sleeves, let's dust off that suit again, right? And let's get back to work. But I'd love to kind of get your guys' perspective of how and where we need to focus our efforts for this year. So Adam, I'll start with you, and Vitaly, I'll ask you the same.
Absolutely. You know, here, basic blocking and tackling, we've gotten away from. We've been It's been very easy for us to sell cars. Gross profit's been very easy to hold, and consumers are buying more F&I products than they ever have before. Economic uncertainty, vulnerability in the marketplace, inflation, political uncertainty. There's all these things that have driven customers to want to protect themselves. But here's what dealers have to do now. This year more than ever, we've got to make sure the dealer has A, the right suite of products in their stores. B, they've got to make sure they're in the right profit share program. Dealers have an abundance of opportunities in the form of reinsurance and dealer-owned warranty companies. And now it's up to the F&I department to pick up the slack because margins are shrinking. So dealers must pay attention to their F&I operations from the sky. They need to stand up in the sky and look down and get granular and really take a look at everything that they're doing from a process standpoint, an accountability standpoint, and most importantly, a coaching and mentoring standpoint. Because you can have the right products and you can have some process, and if you don't have accountability and you don't have professional coaching and mentoring on top of it, you're not going to scale, you're not going to maximize, and you're absolutely not going to dominate. Vitaly, you can back me up, my brother.
So here, it's a real interesting time because this is when it's going to be weeded out from the strong and the weak.
Yes.
You've had a bunch of finance managers.
Which I like, by the way. I think it's going to be a good thing.
Absolutely. No, here, it's always good to purify and to know who's real and who's not.
100%.
You've had a lot of finance managers that they're just tripping over money. There's nothing they can do wrong. Everything just works. Everything falls into place. Everyone buys everything. But here's the problem. Right now, all those guys have gotten relaxed.
Yes.
They've gotten used to the fact that this is normal
salesmanship's
business.
Gone away. Yep,
exactly.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? When you have customers coming in and you tell them, oh, the car's going to be here in 6 months. Oh, you're going to pay $10,000 over list. And they just say, okay. Unfortunately, as nice as that is.
I'll take two.
Yeah.
As nice as that is, they can't last forever. And this is when, like I said, the strong from the weak are really going to separate.
Yes.
The people who invest in training and development are the people who are going to shine. Because everyone who's relaxed over all this time has to sharpen their skills. And have to remember, we're still salesmen at the end of the day. Everyone's not just going to come in and lay down in front of you and say, I'll take it all. So you have to really invest in your people, invest in the process, invest in the procedure, and make sure that you have the right suite of products. Because
100%.
you can't just offer the customer everything and have them expect to buy everything. You have to make sure that what you have is a true benefit to what they need and is going to help them in the long run. Because if you can't justify the product, it's not going to be sold.
You're absolutely right. You know, kind of listening to you, I kind of keep going back to what I call the 3 pillars of success: is people, process, and technology.
Exactly.
Right? And I tell you, like I said, typically when I see a dealership not succeeding the way they should be, it's usually one of those 3 or a combination of all 3, unfortunately, right? But it's people, process, and technology. And now we're having to get back to so when I hear the word get back to the basics, I cringe a little. But then I think, no, these are my basics. My basics are my people, my process, and my technology, right? And how all 3 of them need to kind of work together, jive together, feel good together in the benefit for the consumer, right? Now let's talk a little bit about the box. Just saying it makes me giggle. Did you guys? Okay, yeah, this is a funny story, right? I was at a dealership. I'm just kind of sitting kind of out in the lounge area, and I'm just kind of waiting for, the dealer principal to be completed. We're going to go out and get some lunch together and stuff like that. And so I'm just kind of waiting down there, and this younger gentleman finishes his deal, and he's all super excited. He's collecting all the paperwork, and then he just goes, okay, all you got to do is just go meet my manager so-and-so in the box. I'll take you. He almost paused. He's like, shit, did I just say that out loud? But
it's all over at that point.
But, look, I think it's fitting for what we called it. The fact that we called it the box, I think is fitting. But I don't think that's what it needs to be anymore.
No.
I think it needs to be an F&I experience. And I'd love to get both you guys' professional opinions on how we can generate an experience and get away from the box.
First of all, the box is taboo. I don't want to hear any of my F&I people refer to it the box. Now,
I think it was an accident. I think he looked bad when he said it.
Us 3 chatting it up. Industry veterans,
yes.
we can call it the box in slang conversation, but here's the deal. It's a business office. That's what it is. And what we do in F&I, we truly overcomplicate this sometimes. Let's break it down to its most simplest form. What we do in F&I is we provide solutions to problems that our customers don't always realize that they have first. That's what we do, okay? Our job is to offer solutions in the form of F&I products that are going to enhance the ownership experience, happily engage them in our service department, so then in turn they'll come back and buy another vehicle. Everything I preach on both of my NADA workshops, called the Servant Leading F&I Manager, it's about dealer retention. We don't coach on dealer retention. Have you ever heard a trainer go in and work with an F&I manager and do a training session based on retention?
No, not at all.
No,
Not at all. Not at all. Because I hate to say it, like, and I think what you're talking about, some very proactive dealers, all right? Some great operators, because our industry, and Vitaly, I'm going to come to you because I really want to hear your thoughts on this, but our industry has not treated the business office that way, all right? I am 100% with you, Adam. I believe the business office is there to actually enhance the customer experience, and we build the business office for the customer, not for ourselves. But we know that is not the majority of the cases out there. Business offices are built for the benefit of the dealership and its profitability. That they don't have a mindset of, no, I'm doing this and I'm providing and I'm reviewing these products and solutions to better their overall ownership experience. So I'm with you. I think a great dealership does exactly what you're talking about, but I think we still have a ways as far as the majority. But
we do. We have some work to do. But I'm telling you what, we're moving in the right direction. I'm proud of that. I'm very proud that
I'm seeing technologies in there that are
Yep.
assisting, all right, in making sure that we kind of move in that direction. All right, Vitaly, for yourself, the F&I experience, how do you think it is and what do you think it should be?
So you said the exact right thing, experience. And that's the key word, is experience. So in my opinion, dealers that have F&I managers are really going to struggle moving forward. Dealers that have F&I professionals are the ones that are going to thrive.
Okay, I like that.
What does a professional mean? Professional means someone that gets involved in the sale from the very beginning, before the customer actually became a customer. When they were still just a consumer, what did you do? Did you make yourself available? Are you helping the desk? Are you getting involved in service? Because guess what? Finance is the best friend to service. Finance feeds service. If you do your job right, they're going to love you and they're going to support you and help you grow. So that's the difference between a manager and a professional. And only the professionals are going to succeed moving forward.
For sure. Look, there's been a lot, and guys, this is going to be my next question, because I always like rustling some feathers. So let's see. I'm pretty sure we can rustle some feathers here. Let's go.
I actually really like that.
Let's do that. I like doing it too. I have seen some pretty unique models around the business office, all right? And I'm not necessarily thinking that there's any one way to do this, to be totally honest with you. I have seen, we definitely have seen the model of a one contact model where the salesperson is also the business manager at the same time. I've actually seen groups during the pandemic and now have embraced a centralized business office versus having business professionals or business office professionals at multiple locations, are actually centralizing and using this amazing video technology that now the entire world has adopted to, all right, and is accustomed to. But I'd love to kind of get your guys' thoughts on what is the most effective business office model that you guys have seen. Adam, I'll start with you, and then Vitaly, I'll ask you the same thing.
You know, when it comes to technology, I mean, here, can I back up for a minute?
Sure.
There's a couple things that, first of all, have to happen, okay? For the F&I process to be seamless and frictionless, we've got to do a couple of things. We've got to get involved in the transaction early. We've got to communicate well with their desk. They're pre-op or post-op. We've got to understand what they were thinking. We then have to give the customer time expectations. So when we meet our customer after the deal's a deal, let them know time expectation. I call it resetting the clock. You don't want to tell a customer, hey, you're going to be in my office in 5 minutes, and then 25 minutes, 35 minutes, 45 minutes later, you're not. Now they're thinking you're a liar, they're on their phone, and they're upset.
100%.
So we've got to lay out the groundwork, give them the right expectation, and then you do need to use technology. There's some incredible menu technologies out there from Darwin. I'm a big fan of Menu Metric. I'm a partner of Menu Metric. There's great technologies that you can actually use to help customers select the product. See, customers don't, I'll tell you this, customers want to buy the products. They don't want to be sold the products. So using technology to elegantly display the products in a non-threatening atmosphere allows them to make decisions, and they're in charge. So I love how advanced some of these menus have gotten. I love the fact that you can actually email a menu on the fly or text a menu on the fly and have interaction on the menus. There's some really great digital retailing pieces attached to these menus. I think it's great. I'm excited to see how far we take this thing too. I'm excited. I mean, old school, everything was done on a paper menu. I'm not saying I just want my people to use a menu. Okay, I want everybody to use a menu.
A menu of some kind.
Every deal, and I'm if you look in the country, not everybody's using a menu. There's still people, believe it or not, that are still step selling.
Of course.
But from an example from like DocuPad. I mean, you could put all your presentations right out on the DocuPad. You've got, so there's, the technology is a great aid and tool to F&I, but here's the problem. Here's a problem. Most F&I people are using 30 to 40% of the capabilities of the technology. We're not even utilizing the full technology that's available to us. I think that's going to change as we grow and as we advance in the industry, but we're not using all the technology that we should.
No,
We're not.
We're barely scratching it. Not only are we not using all the technology, but we're also not utilizing all of our resources, right? You know, I mean, how many F&I managers I see sitting there just twiddling their thumbs if something's not on, right? You know, we talked about this being a retention process, and I'll tell you, one of the first campaigns I did as an early F&I manager, because I was not one to sit there and twiddle my thumbs, all right, was going through customers where their warranty has expired or it was about to expire. All right, this is OG.
Yeah.
And I'd be amazed if 1 out of 30 dealerships I have talked to are running some simple retention based kind of campaign like that. But Vitaly, I know you got some thoughts. I'm gonna let you.
No, so here, technology is a great thing if you're utilizing the technology.
Yes.
Part of the problem in the industry is all this technology is there, but no one's training anybody on how to use it. So you have the end user, they have everything at their disposal, and it's not even a willingness to use it, it's a knowing thing.
Mm-hmm.
If the finance professional, I almost said manager there, it's program wanted to say, but I the manager word's dead in my opinion, it's professional. If the finance professional doesn't know how to use the technology, it's all pointless. And I think a big portion of it is knowing your customer. I think there's a really big divide. If you're talking to a blue-collar guy, you're going to put a DocuPad in front of him. I think it's going to scare him. It's going to intimidate him. Whereas if you're in the middle of Silicon Valley, that's what they expect. So technology is a real good thing, but you need to cater to your market first and foremost. You need to make sure that your customer that's sitting in front of you has the experience that they want to have, not the experience that you want them to have.
For sure. And you know what I've seen, like I said, I was just at a dealership, and I thought you guys get a kick out of this. I thought it was really interesting is they had their finance professionals come to the client versus the client coming to them. And I thought this was very unique because I get caught up on little things. I like little things. You know what I mean? Like I just love little things, right? And that's a different mindset, right? I'm not going to take you out of this environment that you're currently comfortable with and put you into a brand new environment, and then you may or may not be comfortable with. I'm going to come to you in your environment where you've already kind of completed the deal with my iPad and take very much so. Let's call it a Apple Store kind of genius approach of really kind of reviewing what are these financial options that you have to protect this large purchase that you just made. And I really dig this. Like I really dig this. So why, sorry. Anyways, I digress. I love little things. I find rabbit holes and sometimes I go down them, but I think little things make big experiences. And I'd love to kind of get your thoughts on what are some little things that we could be doing right now to really enhance this F&I experience.
So little things, growing up, I was always told not to sweat the small stuff. At some level, I can agree in the real world and personal, but in business, I sweat the small stuff. It's the little details. It's the little things that make all of the difference in the world. So there's a lot of things that we can actually do that will benefit and set F&I up later. One thing that is a non-negotiable, F&I has to get off of their butt.
Well said.
Get out of your ivory tower.
Yes.
Your favorite song cannot be me anymore. It's got to be we.
Yep.
We forget sometimes. F&I managers forget what we really do. From the porter to the dealer principal, we sell cars.
Yes.
Unless there's a car sold, F&I doesn't have an opportunity to help them with products, right? So the F&I manager's got to get up out of their chair, meet the customer on neutral ground. Now, you said something just now that I actually really do like. So getting out of your office in a neutral, safe environment and sharing your product protection options at the sales desk is not a bad idea. I have a lot of stores that adopt that, and they do that, and they're having a lot of success. They feel less threatened, less intimidated, and it actually works. Mm-hmm. So I'm really glad. It was music to my ears when you just said that.
Hey, look, it's little things, right? It's little things that make big differences. I'm going to tell you another little thing I used to tell my finance managers or finance professionals. Keep the Rolex at home.
All right, take it off. Go ahead.
No, no, but you know what I mean, right? Like, no, but seriously though, right?
No, you're right though.
Keep the bloody thing at home.
Yeah.
Okay.
No
And
one
you know
wants
what?
to see the person in front of them.
I don't
rolling in
need.
it.
I don't need the $5,000 suit.
Yeah.
All right. Go to Men's Warehouse. Pick up a $299 suit.
Yeah.
All right. Or if anything, wear the exact same setup of whoever the sales is. Like I just always kind of it's intimidating. Of
course.
So here I am. I just bought a car, right? From this nice young lady and this nice young gentleman in a polo. It was just incredibly energetic and just really was intentful in serving my needs.
I like that. Serving your needs. That's a big one.
Yes. And then here comes the finance manager, all right, in a $5,000, fashionable men's suit and a $10,000 Rolex. And I'm going, I like her. Can I continue to? I don't want to. I mean, no. I don't know no Rolex. Anyways, I digress.
No,
Small
I've seen
things. I apologize.
situations where I've had customers ask for the salesperson to go in the finance office with them because they
it's
see the person that you're
intimidating.
describing. They get intimidated, but they're comfortable with that one. Otherwise, they
course.
wouldn't have bought the car to begin with. And that tells you right there and then that you have a problem.
Yes.
You're not portraying yourself the right way to the consumer.
Yes.
But back to the little things versus big things. So I think a lot of these dealers haven't really looked at the structure of their department in years.
Don't disagree.
And their product suite. What are they even offering people? And I think a lot of them have to take a step back and kind of relook the whole situation and say, listen, we're in a completely different time, but you still have your department operating like it's in the 90s.
Yes.
And no one's doing anything to stay current.
Yes. Is your product suite there for the benefit of the dealership, or is the product suite there for the benefit of the customer?
If you're not benefiting the customer, you're not benefiting the dealer. At the
Exactly.
end of the day, the customer is what comes first. There is no dealer without a customer.
100%. The
The other thing is what advocates do you have in the dealership? Is the sales manager in your court? Is the salesman in your court? Because here, as many dealerships I've worked at, the salesman always thinks that guy sits in his office, he makes more money than me, and all he does is hit the keyboard a couple times.
Yeah,
They have no concept of
I
it.
just sold a Hyundai Elantra with $800 in gross profit, and this guy's coming out of his office, hoping and hollering about his
Yeah.
4-pounder.
Exactly. So the question is what are you doing to develop an advocate?
Yes.
Are you making sure that you're helping that salesman make that deal? Are you picking up the phone and helping him do phone calls, bringing customers back in? Are you sitting at the desk helping the sales manager close a deal?
Yep.
Who's in your corner? That's who makes a difference.
Look about it. I look at it from a restaurant perspective. My mom's always been in the restaurant industry, right? And you know what? The most important part, being in the restaurant is you take care of the back staff, right? Like you take care of them. You maybe a few tips, a little bit of your percentage here. You go there. You take care of them. But to your point, right? Like, are we really taking care of the team? And how do we get advocates? Well, you got to take care of these people.
I'm still remembering the
You gotta
finance
take care of-
manager that flings the deal because there's a driver's license that's missing.
Yes.
Before even asking the question, does he have a driver's license with him? Are we going to run to his house afterwards? Maybe there's more to the story.
I agree.
Maybe you need to work with that salesman, train him, and help him be a better salesman to help do your job.
I love it. Anything else you'd like to add, Adam?
No, I mean, here, Vitaly, you hit the nail on the
I
head.
know, right?
You hit the nail on the head. I mean, we have to be more urgent to serve than we are to sell, and we have to get involved. We have to get unity. There's all these things. And here's the thing. The F&I professional has the ability to create these relationships.
Yes.
We have to get out of our own way. Spend 5 minutes with our sales manager in the morning.
right.
Let them know how much we appreciate you. Hey, Mr. Sales Manager, do you have any deals that I can actually get prepped and ready for you? Can I do some manager callbacks? Oh, by the way, do you have to run to the bank today? You want to run to lunch? Let me sit your chair for you, Mr. Sales Manager. I'm here.
Advocates.
Pulling your salespeople aside. Let them in the morning. How
Support
much
that
you
team.
appreciate them and respect them. Train them on your F&I products. They don't need to know how to sell them, but they need to know that they are super secure. When they send their customer into our office, they know they're being taken care of. We do not spend enough time doing these things,
No.
and we absolutely have to going forward.
I love it. I love it. And look, that now supports the larger dealership experience, right? Hey guys, look, I know we're at the tail end of our time. This has been a seriously great podcast. I can tell between the three of us, we could easily go a lot longer.
Oh, yeah.
Easily go a lot longer
Because we have
for
true
sure.
passion for it. That's
right.
why.
We do. We love this stuff. We love it. But hey, before I let you guys go, though, for everybody out there watching and listening right now who would love to kind of connect with you guys, learn more about what's going on, or even follow along with your journey, what's the best way to do so?
you can I'm everywhere online. You're going to find me online. So just Adam Marburger online, Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't do much with the old Instagram. I had TikTok, or TikTok, whatever they call it. I don't use that very much, but I'm pretty easy to find online. And I love to connect. For those that want to grow, I want to know, let's meet.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. So here, me and Adam, you can get a hold of us the exact same way. I'm probably on TikTok a little more than my wife is happy with, but here, we're on Facebook, AscentDealerServices.com. Here, if anyone in the industry is genuinely looking to grow, to level up, it doesn't hurt to have a conversation.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with me. This has been a lot of fun. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to the Matador Podcast with your host, Jason Harris. Be sure to check out the full podcast library at matador.ai to stay in the know. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.